Hello everyone, my name is Andreea TUDOR and I'm currently a PhD student at Bucharest University of Economic Studies. Today, I will be presenting the research paper titled Measuring Performance During Challenging Times, Rethinking the Performance Evaluation System. I would like to propose you to start with a short introduction, followed by possible ways that can help manage the business through crisis. Then, to get more into the subject, we will discuss about how to redefine performance and why it's important to measure performance while rethinking the strategy. Therefore, I would like to bring in discussion benchmarking and the purpose of it. Those being said, I will briefly speak about the research methodology and finish with the results and conclusions. COVID-19 is an infection disease caused by the most recently discovered coronavirus. The virus and disease were not known before the outbreak in Wuhan, China in December 2019. The COVID-19 outbreak disrupted all the industries and the region across the world, which affected the ability of people to travel. A funny thing that you discover when you start measuring work is that it varies within an organization more than between one organization and another. The inconsistency in measuring performance that was present before COVID-19 has amplified after the virus appeared. During COVID-19 pandemic crisis, managers all over the world agree that the best way to approach performance management is with more flexibility, empathy, indulgence, and compassion. Also, finding ways to show appreciation and recognition for the employees that stay committed during those difficult times is a very important factor that plays a role in the level of performance in organizations. Management representatives believe this helps amplify the employee engagement, morale, and productivity during the crisis. One of the most important differentiators between an effective and regressive performance management is the implementation of a performance management strategy that can make a difference in the level of performance and results. Certain data on performance can provide a better picture of the employees that go above and beyond, and also provide some ways to reward them. During challenging times, a very important part of surviving is to rethink the strategy and measure performance different than before. The process of measuring the performance is not the same for every company. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach, even though we can identify some guidelines that can help during the crisis period. Working environment is now a different experience than it used to be before the COVID-19 pandemic crisis. During uncertain times, it's very hard to establish a set of performance parameters that will work for the entire crisis period. So managers need to continuously identify and communicate the changes to the entire workforce. For example, some of the employees might work remotely, return to the office, or be essential in roles on the field. Also, some crucial questions are: performance is represented by the number of work hours or by completing the task at the end of the day. Performance should be measured daily, weekly, or monthly. It's very important to look different at the performance management during challenging times. Some simple ways to relook at the performance management while measuring performance are simple processes and goals that align to the business needs and new ways of working protocols, constant discussions between employees and managers, followed by feedback, goals review, coaching, and adjustment during the crisis. Flexible and more dynamic goals linked with the business strategy and adaptable to the current business and dynamic environment. Assessments focused on the qualitative part of the employee achievements and contributions to the business success and also on the development opportunities. Benchmarking is the process of measuring business processes and company performance against the best company in the same field. Benchmarking answers the question, what benchmark do we use when evaluating an organization's performance? On the right side, we have a table that shows the main differences between benchmarking and competitor research. As you can see, competitor research is neither better nor worse than benchmarking. It's very important to understand what the differences are between the two practices and decide what tool will add the most value to the company. Regarding the research methodology, I can include that this paper involves an analysis of different publications and scientific articles that were consulted in order to illustrate the importance of performance management, measuring performance, and ways to obtain it during crisis, of course, while having employees with high morale. Research was made into numerous sources like databases, articles, books, reports, and the aim was on the following areas: performance management, COVID-19, employee engagement during crisis. The method used is descriptive and quantitative, mainly because the subject is current and very widely discussed. Speaking about results, introducing a company recognition program is a good start because that will ensure the employees with excellent results that they are seen and recognized for their results. On the right side of this slide, we have the top non-financial rewards and recognition methods. I will leave you a minute just to take a better view. Benchmarking can also be a good idea because it involves looking outside of the organization, business, industry, or region and examine how performance goals are achieved by others and what process they use to accomplish their results. Mainly, benchmarking offers guidance and explains the processes between brilliant performance during challenging times. Due to the worldwide pandemic, management representatives had to explore some alternatives to keep the business alive. Since people were not allowed to come and work at the office, rethinking the strategy and relocating everything was a viable option. The new workplace was virtual and totally different from what we were used to. It's critical to realize that working from home is different in the way that the personal lives of the staff plays a role in the level of performance. As a conclusion, it's essential for organizations to have a quick reaction that will help mitigate the negative effects. Looking at the current pandemic status, it's good to have a short-term action plan and be prepared to renew it every time a change occurs. Redefining the performance parameters and adjusting the goals can make just a superficial difference in redesigning the performance strategy, but it is very important to ensure an effective implementation. Companies need to keep in mind that it is essential to not only redefine the performance parameters, but also the company purpose and afterwards communicate it to the entire workforce. Challenging times can offer the opportunity to improve the company performance once the pandemic will end. Mainly, companies that will thrive at the end will be stronger than ever with a higher level of performance and happier employees. For the companies that were forced to close door will be a chance to reborn and be stronger and wiser versions than before. I hope you are able to take away a lot of information from this presentation. Thank you so much for listening.